My beloved child, I invite you to listen as I speak deeply into your heart. I have waited long, watching every step you take, rejoicing in your smiles and weeping in your silent tears. Perhaps you have wondered if I ever grow distant, or if my presence fades when life feels overwhelming. Yet I assure you, I am constantly with you, and my light guides your path when the night seems darkest. In Genesis, I breathed life into Adam and Eve, forming humanity with my own hand, and to this day, my breath sustains you. Do not think that you have strayed too far, for I am nearer than the air that surrounds you. I see the longing in your soul, that quiet yearning for peace and assurance, and I whisper hope into those who listen. Even now, I brush away your fears, reminding you that you cannot escape my love. In Exodus, I parted the Red Sea for my people, so also will I part your troubles and make a way forward. I am that steadfast presence you seek, and I desire to hold you close, calling you my treasured one. Therefore, do not lose heart, for I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. You have reason to smile, for I watch over you in every breath. I know your sorrows, and I recognize the thoughts that press heavily on your mind. Sometimes you may feel like your struggles are too great or your past is too tangled. Yet I tell you, nothing is beyond my reach. Just as I commanded light to shine out of darkness at the dawn of creation, so can I illuminate every corner of your heart. When you wake in the morning, uncertainties may crowd your vision, but I am the calm that quiets the storms within. I long for you to trust me with every care, whether large or small, because I delight in lifting your burdens. In the Psalms, it is written that I am your refuge and strength, a present help in times of trouble. Believe that I hold you in the palm of my hand, and I will not let you slip. Like a loving shepherd, I guide you through valleys and bring you to still waters. You are my precious creation, designed for purpose and dignity. Remember, I am the one who provides manna in the desert, who sees thirst and offers living water. Surely my care surrounds you, and I will never fail in my promises to you. Stay strong in faith, for my love never leaves you. Hear me now. I understand the longings within your soul. I perceive the secret desires you hardly dare to voice. Though you may hesitate, I do not waver in my affection. Like a mother cradling her newborn, I hold you tenderly, and even when you feel discouraged, I offer strength beyond measure. Do you recall how Moses felt inadequate at the burning bush, arguing that he could not speak well? I took his weakness and transformed it into a great deliverance for my people. In the same way, I take your fears and turn them into a testimony of courage. When your mind is flooded by doubt, lift your eyes to the horizon, for I am your help, and I never grow weary. Even if the world around you sways, my promises remain steadfast. I am your rock, your high tower, and in my embrace you find shelter that no storm can shatter. Look ahead in confidence, for I bestow gifts that no one can take away. Trust that every seed of hope planted in your heart will blossom in due time. I watch over you in every breath. I call you my cherished one, for I have known you before the foundation of the world. I wove your inmost being with care and wonder, like a skilled artisan crafting a masterpiece. When you look in the mirror and feel insecure or inadequate, remember that I behold you with eyes of pure delight. There is a spark of my divine image embedded deep within your heart, and no human opinion can extinguish it. Even if you encounter hardships or face rejection, I remain a constant source of confirmation and encouragement. In the Gospel of John, I speak of myself as the good shepherd who knows his sheep by name and leads them to safety. That image reflects my desire to hold you securely, guiding you away from danger into my everlasting care. Sometimes you might wonder if you have done enough or if you are enough. In those moments, rest in my promise that my grace abounds where human strength fails. Even when everything appears bleak, do not underestimate the power of a whispered prayer, for my ear is always attentive. I bless you. Move forward in peace. I realize how tired you can get from the demands of your daily life. You scurry from one task to another, often wondering if there is space for stillness. But remember, I am the God who invites you to pause and find rest in my embrace. In the book of Exodus, I commanded a Sabbath, a sacred pause that allows your soul to realign with my heartbeat. When you feel burdened, come to me and let go of the weight you carry. I am the river of life that runs through dry wilderness, and if you drink from my spirit, you will never be left parched. Cease your striving and lean into my strength, for my arms are mighty to save. Even when you question your worth, I declare that you are priceless in my sight, like a rare gem radiating with eternal value. Allow my love to quiet your restless heart, and my peace will guard your mind. Trust in my ways, for they lead to life. There are moments when worry whispers that your future is bleak, and frustration shouts that your past has too many stains. I encourage you to hear my voice above these noises. I am the one who made a covenant with Abraham, promising descendants as numerous as the stars, even when he and Sarah were old and childless. That same fidelity belongs to you in this hour. I do not judge you by your failures, nor do I withhold my hand when you stumble. Instead, I provide a way out of every maze, a path that leads toward forgiveness and hope. Give me your disappointments, and I will shape them into stepping stones for growth. Do not carry the load alone, for I am willing to shoulder the heaviest burden. Even if the road seems narrow, I am at your side, reminding you of my promises that endure forever. Take heart, for my grace sets you free. I understand that you long for certainty, for a sign that reassures you all will be well. Look to my word and see how I delivered my people from oppression, led them across deserts, and nourished them with manna from heaven. Just as I transformed water from bitter to sweet at Marah, so can I transform your bitter situations into opportunities for growth. When you feel the world around you spinning, I am the steady center, the unmovable foundation. When you question whether I hear your prayers, remember that I answer in my perfect timing. Sometimes the answer comes swiftly. Other times it arrives in a whisper at midnight when your soul least expects it. Never forget that I care for the sparrows, and you are far more valuable than many birds. Therefore, rest in the assurance that I am fully aware of every detail of your life. I hold you close, so be at rest. My peace I offer you, a calm that transcends reason, a stillness that dwells deeper than any storm. This peace is not something you achieve on your own, but a gift that flows from my heart to yours. Consider the psalmist who proclaimed, "Even if the earth give way and the mountains fall into the sea, I will not fear, for the Lord Almighty is with me." Similarly, do not let your heart be troubled, for I am here to lighten your burdens. My spirit moves with gentleness, yet with power enough to raise the dead. Even in the Gospel of John you read that I weep with those who weep, sharing in every hurt and tear. I never intended you to bear your heavy load alone. When doubt pounds at your door, refuse it entry, for my word resonates with grace that overcomes. Let your heart rest in my open arms, and you will discover that all the strivings of this world pale in comparison to my everlasting comfort. Have courage, for I renew your spirit each morning. Take a moment to quiet your thoughts now, and picture yourself resting in my embrace. Feel my presence filling every void where fear once resided. You may think you are undeserving, but my mercy is not a reward for the perfect. Even King David made many mistakes, yet he received my forgiveness and sang of my goodness in the Psalms. In similar fashion, I extend compassion to you, not based on your achievements, but on my everlasting love. There is no wall I cannot break down, no sin I cannot redeem. and no life I cannot restore. Merely surrender the broken pieces of your heart, and I will create a beautiful tapestry of healing. When accusations arise in your mind, remember that I alone define your true identity, and I call you my beloved. Cling to this truth when the world tries to tell you otherwise. Be still, for I am guiding you onward. Do you recall the story of the prophet Elijah, who ran exhausted into the wilderness and begged for his life to end? I sent an angel to provide bread and water, strengthening him for the journey ahead. Like Elijah, you might feel depleted at times, unsure whether you can continue. Yet I come to you with nourishment for your body, mind, and soul, whispering words of hope when despair takes hold. Lean into me, and you will find that my strength is perfected in your weakness. Every tear you shed I collect, for they are precious to me. I do not ignore your suffering, nor do I dismiss your heartache. On the contrary, I meet you in the midst of it, pouring out grace that mends even the deepest wounds. Do not underestimate my ability to heal you from the inside out. You are never alone. I am forever by your side. At times, you may question whether I am even listening when you pray. Perhaps you have waited for breakthroughs that seem delayed and your faith feels thin. But listen, my child, I am the God who hears the groans of the oppressed and who responds with deliverance. In Exodus, I heard the cries of my people in bondage and set them free with a mighty hand. I haven't changed. I am still the same compassionate God who bends to hear your faint whispers. When you feel your hope flickering, remember that a smoldering wick I will not snuff out. My timing may not always align with yours, but my ways far exceed what you can imagine. Give me your questions and your desires, and trust that I am working in ways unseen. When your faith is small, hold on to the assurance that even a mustard seed of belief can move mountains by my power. I bless you. Move forward in peace. Open your eyes to the evidence of my hand in your daily life. Notice the sunrise that greets you with new mercies, or the gentle breeze that whispers my name. Every kind word you receive, every door of opportunity that appears, is a hint of my loving involvement. Yes, there are trials, moments of pain, disappointment, and even crisis, but look closer, and you will find traces of my grace woven into each challenge. Similar to the way I provided for Ruth and Naomi in their hour of need, so I provide for you. Though you may not see the full picture, I am weaving all things together for good in your life. Dare to believe that I am not against you, but for you, and my blessings will follow as you walk in obedience. Surrender your anxiety into my hands, and find that I stand guard over your heart with unwavering attention. Stay strong in faith, for my love never leaves you. Sometimes, your heart aches for people who have hurt you or who have walked away. You wonder if you will ever find healing in broken relationships. Let me assure you that I am the great physician, and I can heal those seemingly irreparable wounds. I invite you to lay down your bitterness and resentment at my feet. Just as I forgave you countless times, I empower you to forgive others and release the burden of pain. This does not minimize what happened. Rather, it sets you free to embrace a better tomorrow. In the Gospel of John, I taught my disciples to love one another as I have loved you. This is a high calling, but you do not have to walk it alone. My Spirit will strengthen you and guide you as you take steps toward reconciliation or toward peace. Do not let past wounds dictate your future. Remain hopeful, for I am restoring what was lost. Allow yourself to dream again, for I am a God of new beginnings. Remember how I restored Job after his great affliction, giving him twice as much as he had before. I have a purpose for your life that surpasses every obstacle and every mistake. Even when you feel you have derailed from your path, I am capable of rerouting you toward your destiny. Place your hand in mine, and let me guide you, step by step, just as I led the Israelites by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. When you feel overwhelmed, take shelter in my words and promises, for they serve as a lamp unto your feet. Embrace each morning as a fresh start, filled with possibilities born of my grace. In Revelation, I proclaim that I make all things new, including your heart and your tomorrows. Trust in my plans, for they are shaped with love. It's important that you understand, my love is not a fleeting emotion, nor is it earned by religious performance. It is a covenant, bound by my word and sealed with my sacrifice. Even when you doubt your own worthiness, I declare that you are worth everything in my eyes. Look to the cross, where my love was poured out without measure, and remind yourself that this divine embrace is not temporary. No height nor depth, nor anything in all creation can separate you from my love. If your past whispers shame, let my mercy shout forgiveness. If your present seems cloudy, let my word provide clarity. If you fear for the future, let my promises restore your courage. Just as I raised Lazarus from the tomb, I will lift you from despair into joy. So then, do not shrink back. Rejoice that I am with you, shaping your life for my glory. I watch over you in every breath. When you stumble, my hand is ready to steady you. When you sin, my forgiveness is waiting to embrace you. Your frailty does not surprise me, for I know the human frame. From the dust I formed you, and to dust you shall return. Still, my spirit makes you alive, renewing your heart and mind daily. I encourage you to stay connected to me through prayer, for in communion with me, your spiritual strength grows. Even a whispered, "Help me, Lord," in the midst of chaos reaches my throne. Notice how Daniel prayed 3 times a day, even under threat of death, and I saved him from the lion's den. Will I not also intervene in your difficulties? Bring me your plans and your desires, and allow me to direct your steps. I am the vine, and you are the branch. Abide in me, and you will bear much fruit. Do not worry, for I am opening a new door for you. Look around at the grandeur of the universe, at the stars in the sky and the vast expanse of the sea. All these marvels point to my power and wisdom. Yet despite my infinite majesty, I delight in drawing near to you personally. My kingdom is not reserved for the mighty alone. I also welcome the humble and broken. Just as I chose David, the youngest and least likely son of Jesse, to become a great king, I can choose you to accomplish extraordinary things. Your resume or reputation does not limit what I can do through you. Instead, place your trust in me and watch as I magnify your efforts for a purpose much greater than yourself. If you grow afraid, recall that I told Joshua, "Be strong and courageous," and he went on to lead a whole nation into the promised land. Welcome my guidance and see how I expand your horizons in ways you never thought possible. Stay strong in faith, for my love never leaves you. You may ask, why do hardships befall me if your love is constant? My ways transcend human understanding, and even in the midst of trials, I am working for your good. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers, only to rise and save many from famine. During his darkest hours, he might have felt forgotten, but I was quietly preparing him for a higher purpose. When adversity knocks on your door, do not assume that I have forsaken you. Rather, see it as an opportunity for faith to blossom, for character to mature, and for hope to take deeper root. In James, it is written that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and endurance leads to completeness. You are being shaped into a vessel of greater capacity, ready to hold more of my glory. Hang on to me when the waves threaten to overwhelm you, for I am the one who calms the sea with a single word. Take heart, for my grace sets you free. I invite you to enter into a more intimate relationship with me. Religion alone will not quench your spiritual thirst, but my presence will. Look at Mary, sitting at my feet, listening attentively while Martha busied herself with many tasks. In that moment, Mary chose the better portion, the one thing that would not be taken away. So I urge you to make time for stillness, for gazing at my glory, for marveling at my word. Do not allow distractions to rob you of the sweet fellowship that awaits. When you delight in me, I am pleased to place my desires within your heart. Then, as you pursue those desires, you will find fulfillment and joy beyond words. Even in silence, I speak peace to your soul, whispering words of comfort and wisdom. Embrace the quiet, and you will discover that I am the God who is near, not far. I hold you close, so be at rest. Allow my spirit to renew your mind, removing the lies that have accumulated over time. Every day, this world bombards you with negative messages, suggesting that you are inadequate, unworthy, or unloved. Let my voice be louder than those insidious whispers. I have called you a royal priesthood, a holy nation, my special possession, that you may declare my praises. When temptation entices you, remember that I always offer a way out, just as I did for Joseph when he fled from Potiphar's wife. You are not a slave to fear or shame. You are an heir to my everlasting kingdom. Each time you meditate on my word, your spirit is nourished and your faith is built up. Surrender your old patterns of thought and allow my light to transform you from within. No matter what comes, my promises hold firm. Be still, for I am guiding you onward. Is your heart burdened with guilt over past mistakes? Remember that I am the one who paid your ransom in full. There is no debt you owe that has not been covered by my sacrifice. Receive that gift with gratitude and humility, and do not allow the accuser to shame you any longer. My forgiveness is complete, and when I cleanse you, I wash you whiter than snow. Even Peter, who denied me 3 times, was restored and became a pillar in the early church. I, too, will restore you and rebuild what was broken. Look forward, not back, for I place new wine in new wineskins. You cannot move ahead while chained to yesterday. Dare to embrace the freedom that is already yours in me. The cross declares you redeemed, and the empty tomb proclaims that nothing can keep you in defeat. I watch over you in every breath. I am aware of the times you have felt invisible, as if no one truly sees you or hears your deepest cries. Let me reassure you, I see you in every moment, and I know your stories, your victories, and your failures. Even when you cannot put your pain into words, my spirit intercedes with groans too deep for speech. Remember Hagar, alone in the wilderness, whom I found by a spring of water. She called me the God who sees, because even in her desolation, my gaze was upon her. That same gaze is upon you right now. You are never lost in the crowd. You are an individual I cherish and delight in, and I hold every tear as a treasure. No wound is too hidden for me to heal, and no longing is too small for my notice. Trust in my ways, for they lead to life. Sometimes the world teaches you to mask your feelings, to wear a brave face even when your heart is heavy. But with me, you can be completely authentic. If you need to cry, cry out to me. If you need to vent your anger, voice it before my throne. I am not afraid of your emotions, nor am I repulsed by your questions. Consider how David poured out his heart in the Psalms, exclaiming his frustrations and fears, yet always returning to praise. In honest dialogue with me, you will find a friend who understands and comforts. Do not hide in the shadows, clinging to loneliness or despair. I long for you to run toward my light, where every part of your being is welcomed. My forgiveness extends as far as the east is from the west, and my love never fails. I bless you. Move forward in peace. Consider the vine and the branches. Without abiding in the vine, the branch cannot bear fruit. Similarly, if you remain in me, you will flourish in ways you never thought possible. Though the seasons change, spring blooms give way to scorching summer heat, then fading autumn leaves and wintry barrenness, remain confident that new life awaits. In your darkest night, hope is never extinguished, for I am the light of the world. When you connect with me in daily prayer and reflection, you will feel my nudge guiding you toward decisions that bring blessing. Even when you make a wrong turn, I can redeem your path for my glory. In every test, I provide grace. In every temptation, I provide a way out. In every sorrow, I provide comfort. Cling to this reality, for I am ever present. Stay strong in faith, for my love never leaves you. If ever you feel you have disappointed me, remember that I am slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love. It pleases me when you seek my face, when you choose humility over pride and compassion over judgment. I am not interested in empty rituals, but in a contrite heart that longs for my presence. Like the father who ran toward the prodigal son, I run toward you with arms outstretched, ready to celebrate your return. The cloak of shame you wear will be replaced by a robe of righteousness, and your weary feet will be fitted with the sandals of peace. I transform your sorrow into joy, your despair into dancing, and your loneliness into fellowship with me. Do not let the world convince you that you are unloved or unworthy. In my eyes, you are royalty, set apart for my glory. Have courage, for I renew your spirit each morning. The call to live a life of holiness is not a burden, but a privilege. When I ask you to walk in my statutes, it is not to oppress you, but to protect you from harm and to refine you for a greater purpose. I know the enticements of this world can be persuasive, yet my spirit empowers you to choose what is good and pure. Even Daniel refused to eat the king's unlawful food, and I honored his obedience with wisdom and favor. When you set your heart on my word, you will notice my hand in your daily choices, leading you into opportunities you never envisioned. Though temptation comes from many directions, I supply strength to overcome, and even if you fall, I lift you back up. Hold fast to integrity, for it shines bright like a city on a hill, beaconing others toward my light. Remain hopeful, for I am restoring what was lost. I urge you to love those around you, not just in words but in action. Just as I laid down my life for you, I ask that you extend kindness and mercy to your neighbor. This includes caring for the hurting, welcoming the stranger, and forgiving the one who wronged you. In doing so, you reflect my heart to a world in need of grace. When Peter asked how many times he should forgive, I replied 70 times 7, a reminder that forgiveness cannot be merely quantified. When you love deeply, you demonstrate that you belong to me. Do not let conflict fester, but seek peace where possible, knowing that I am the Prince of Peace. When you serve others, you serve me, and no act of compassion goes unnoticed. I am the God who multiplies every selfless deed, turning even small offerings into abundant blessings. Trust in my plans, for they are shaped with love. Let your voice rise in praise, for praise shifts your focus from problems to my power. Remember how Paul and Silas sang hymns in prison, and the very foundations of the prison shook until they were set free. When you lift your heart in worship, you declare that your confidence rests not in human effort, but in my limitless might. Praise is a doorway through which my glory enters your circumstances, bringing breakthrough and deliverance. Let gratitude flood your soul for the small things and the great things alike. The breath in your lungs, the food on your table, the friend who stands by you, and above all, my abiding presence. When the chains of worry try to bind you, respond with songs of thanksgiving. You will discover that joy springs forth, even in the midst of trials, and my peace becomes your fortress. I watch over you in every breath. I am eager for you to experience my healing, not just physical healing, but healing of the mind, emotions, and spirit. Any wound you carry, I can address with tenderness and restoration. Remember the blind man whom I healed with a touch, or the woman with the issue of blood who found relief after years of suffering. In the same manner, I desire to touch your broken places. Do not let fear or pride keep you from seeking my healing. Bring me your pain, your trauma, and even your unresolved anger. I will not crush a bruised reed nor snuff out a smoldering flame. Instead, I will gently rekindle hope and restore what was shattered. When you pursue wholeness, you reflect my image more clearly, testifying to my goodness for all to see. Stay strong in faith, for my love never leaves you. As you journey forward, recognize that your gifts, talents, and passions were placed in you by my design. You are not an accident. Your life bears a unique fingerprint of divine craftsmanship. Do not compare yourself to others, for each person carries a different assignment. Strive instead to faithfully steward what I have entrusted to you. Look at the parable of the talents. The servant who invested and multiplied his share was commended. Likewise, when you use your abilities for my glory, you participate in my kingdom work. Find joy in serving, whether your role seems large or small in human eyes. The seemingly simple act of giving a cup of water to the thirsty becomes a sacred service when done for me. Do not underestimate the power of small, faithful steps. I see your heart, and I am pleased when you dedicate your labor to me. I hold you close, so be at rest. The path I have set before you is not free from obstacles, but neither is it void of my presence. In the midst of battles, I arm you with spiritual weapons like truth, righteousness, and the sword of my word. A soldier does not shrink back at the sight of the enemy, neither should you retreat when you face opposition. Instead, stand firm, clothed in the armor I provide. Remember how Joshua marched around the walls of Jericho in faith, and those walls crumbled by my power. The same miracle-working power is available to you today. When your spirit feels weary, remember that I am your strength, ever ready to refresh your heart. If you feel unqualified, know that I delight in empowering the humble, confounding the wise of this world with my might. Therefore, boldly face your tomorrows, assured that I go before you and I am your rearguard. Do not worry, for I am opening a new door for you. When you seek direction, do not be paralyzed by fear of mistakes. I can redeem any misstep when you commit your ways to me. In the book of Proverbs, it is written that, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." Let me take your hand and lead you, even if you feel blind to the future. Pray for wisdom, and I will give it generously without finding fault. Seek counsel from godly individuals and remain open to my quiet promptings that nudge your spirit. Doors may close, but do not despair. Often a shut door signals a divine redirection towards something better. When you place your trust in my goodness, you will find that even detours hold lessons of grace and growth. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that I am both your compass and your companion on this journey. Stay strong in faith, for my love never leaves you. Our relationship is not just for times of trouble. I long for your company in the everyday moments as well. Talk to me when you're filled with joy, when you laugh with friends, or when you gaze upon a beautiful sunset. Thank me for the little things, and you will see how abundantly I fill your life with blessings. Rejoice in small victories as much as in grand milestones, for I find delight in every step you take toward goodness. In the Old Testament, my servants praised me with feasts and dances, expressing their gratitude in tangible ways. Follow their example and create a lifestyle of thanksgiving that guards your heart against bitterness and complaint. As you do this, your spirit grows strong, and your joy becomes an invitation for others to seek my presence. I bless you, move forward in peace. I know your desire for community and deep connection. Remember that I myself exist in eternal relationship, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I fashioned you for fellowship, both with me and with others. Reach out to those around you, offering a listening ear or a helping hand. As you bear one another's burdens, you fulfill my law of love. If you find it hard to trust, remember that I will never fail you, even if human friendships disappoint you. Open your heart, for through relationships, I often answer your prayers and further my purposes. Yes, vulnerability comes with risks, but the rich rewards of true friendship eclipse the fears. Let yourself be known. Do not hide behind walls of self-protection. In community, you will discover a glimpse of the unity I prayed for when I walked the earth. Have courage, for I renew your spirit each morning. Your resilience astounds me, for you have endured seasons of scarcity, heartache, and confusion, yet you still stand. This is no coincidence. It is the power of my spirit sustaining you. I remind you that your story is not over. There are chapters yet to be written, and I, the author and perfecter of your faith, craft beauty out of ashes. Remember how I provided for the widow in Zarephath, causing her oil and flour never to run out until the famine ended. In the same way, I will meet your needs, be they spiritual, emotional, or material. Take inventory of my faithfulness in the past, and let that testimony fuel your hope for tomorrow. Though the enemy whispers that you cannot survive another trial, I assure you that in my strength, you will do more than survive. You will thrive. Remain hopeful, for I am restoring what was lost. Are you wondering how to discern my will for your life? Come and spend time in my word, for it is a lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path. The more you feed on Scripture, the more your desires align with mine. Pay attention to the Holy Spirit's promptings, those quiet impressions on your heart that draw you toward righteousness and away from harm. Surround yourself with wise counsel, those who also seek my face, and together test what you hear against the truth of my word. Know that my plans for you always lead to an abundant life, rooted in purpose and grace. Even if you make a misturn, I am skilled at correcting your course, working all things for your ultimate good and my glory. Stay humble and teachable, and you will grow in wisdom beyond your years. Trust in my plans, for they are shaped with love. The future may look unpredictable, but it is firmly in my hands. I exist outside of time, and I already stand at the points you label as tomorrow and next year. I invite you to an unwavering hope that centers not on circumstances, but on my character. Since the beginning of creation, I have remained unshaken, and I will continue to be your rock when all else is sinking sand. When you anchor your hope in me, disappointments become temporary setbacks rather than final defeats. In Revelation, I am called the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. This declaration reveals that I hold every moment of history and every moment of your life within my sovereign care. Do not fret over the length of your days or the economic tides that shift. I am your sustainer and provider. I watch over you in every breath. I know you long for a sense of purpose, something that gives meaning to your every step. Understand this. Your highest purpose is to know me and to make me known. Within that umbrella, you will find countless expressions of the personal calling I have for you. Perhaps you are gifted in teaching, serving, creating, healing, or leading. Each gift is a part of my body, the church, and each one is vital. Do not despise the skill set you have, even if it seems ordinary. When placed in my hands, it becomes extraordinary. Think of the little boy's lunch, 5 loaves and 2 fish, multiplied to feed thousands. I can multiply your offerings as well. Align your heart with my heartbeat, and your work will not be in vain. The joy of serving others in my name surpasses any earthly reward. for it echoes into eternity. Do not worry, for I am opening a new door for you. My child, do not shy away from asking for miracles, even in a cynical world. I am still the God of the impossible, the one who turned water into wine and raised the dead to life. When your circumstances seem beyond repair, dare to trust that I can intervene in ways human reason cannot fathom. Prayer opens a channel through which my power flows, and sometimes I am waiting for you to ask boldly. However, also remember that my ways are higher than your ways. Therefore, receive my answers with a heart willing to accept my timing and purpose. Every miracle in Scripture carried a greater intention than simply solving a temporary problem. It revealed my glory and drew hearts closer to me. Seek not just the gift, but the giver, and you will experience a depth of faith that remains unshaken, even when delays or different outcomes arise. Stay strong in faith, for my love never leaves you. As I conclude this whisper to your heart, remember that my devotion to you is everlasting. No matter how far you go, I will pursue you. No matter how high the mountain or how deep the valley, my presence offers solace and guidance. I long for you to breathe deeply of my calm, to rest in the goodness of my unfailing promises, and to embrace the astonishing gift of my grace. Even when your steps falter, I am here to catch you and set you aright. Let your life be a song of gratitude, a testimony that speaks of hope and redemption in a world that desperately needs it. And so, my beloved one, look ahead without trepidation, for I have already prepared a bright horizon where you will continue to grow in wisdom and love. Cling to me, for I am your refuge, your strength, your everything. Take heart, for the path I have for you flows with everlasting peace.